Good afternoon. Trade scores alerts for Thursday, April 8th. The market reaching to new highs again today. I want to just show you why we need to be cautious. And it comes down to where we are in the price channel. So if we draw two parallel lines, and I've drawn that a little bit roughly, the idea is that when you get up to the top of the channel, it's very likely that you're going to get a pullback. And you can see that over and over again, that's what's happened. And so we're up near the top of the channel again. Volume is falling off. That means the enthusiasm is falling off. And that sets us up for a likely pullback in those large cap S&P type stocks. Now, that's not the whole market. We can also look at the Russell 2000. And there you're not in that situation where you're not overbought. What we have here instead is that the upward trend line has been broken and we're now building a falling top. So if we were to come down and then break down, we'd get a pullback in the market. We haven't done any of that yet, so I don't want anyone to be too concerned. But the reason that trading has been a little bit quiet is we've been stuck in that sideways range. You know, November of last year until middle of February, that speculative market, those small cap stocks, was in an upward trend. We are doing one of two things right now. We are either building a base where we are just building a sideways pattern that we will eventually break up off of and head higher, or we are building that head and shoulders topping pattern. If we get a breakdown through the bottom, then that would be a negative. We don't know yet. For now, it's neutral, but that's why there's not a lot of action. All right, let's go into our market scans. Start us off with the US, or the Canadian side rather. Always run those abnormal breaks. Lots of gold stocks showing action the last few days, but most of them don't really have great charts. And so we're going to push past those. This MTRX looks pretty good. This is a good turnaround pattern. It went parabolic to the upside. It's been drifting for 4 months and now starting to move to the upside from this rising bottom. And you can see volume picking up right now as well. So I actually like that, but I always want to take a look at the longer term time frame to get the big picture. And I think that's also pretty good. Is it great? It's not a 7 out of 10. I would give this a 6.5, but I like the reward for risk trade-off. If we go back to the daily time frame, you know, your situation, the chart pattern is good, but you also want to think about where is support and where is resistance. And so there's resistance, there's your risk. This little amount right here is your risk. And you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5 RR up to resistance. So the reward for risk makes a little bit of sense there. So that one's pretty good. I'd give that a 6.5. Let's continue along. This Victoria Gold's okay, but it's going to run into some resistance there. All right, so let's go to the US side. Not seeing any good patterns yet. Always like to see that break from low volatility from optimism. That's what MTRX had. This one trying, but it's still below its downward trend line, so that's not quite good enough. This bright sphere is breaking out, but it looks like it's been going up for a while, so it's not like you're getting in when the party started. You're coming a little late to the party on that. Maybe a scale in for someone that owned it to add to the position, but I would not initiate a position there. And that's it. Jump over to trade scores just to see. Got quite a bit of red here today, which is kind of surprising given what the market is doing, but nothing making too big of a move. We'll just take a look at LGO. Yeah, that's still well above support. You can also look at these numbers here. When you get numbers close to -1, that means they're nearing their original stop loss. FTT looks good, building a little bit of a falling top, so that's a small concern, but that'll get taken care of by where our stop is. So nothing really to change there. Hopefully that's a helpful little lesson on channels. Trade well.